Thanks for the support as a channel member, AD Richardson. After 15 years of domination in Germany and the last 2 or 3 years of struggling to keep up with us on Leipzig, Julian Nagelsmann is hanging on by a thread at Bayern Munich. If we're going to fully establish ourselves as the top team here in Germany, I think we probably have to get him sacked, don't we? Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 18 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the second leg of our Champions League first knockout round game against Sporting. And then we're going to do a couple of matches off camera before coming back for Bayern Munich away from home in the Bundesliga. Unless the next round of the Champions League comes in first. The fixtures are looking odd. There's an international break, I think. We kind of go to the 19th of March and then we don't play Bayern until the 2nd of April. So there's a chance we'll have another Champions. Should we check? There is a way to check. I know all about checking dates and things now in Football Manager. So that it's going to be, well, that doesn't help. There is a schedule. When does the quarterfinal happen? Quarterfinal draw. Quarterfinal matches on the 6th. So that's after we play Bayern. We play Bayern on the Saturday. That's fine. That'll be tomorrow. We do play Bayern today. Could have checked all that before the video started, but you know by now that's not my style. We are 3-0 up from the first leg at home against a Sporting side who, because we don't have the Portuguese leagues loaded, we don't actually know how good they are. Cristiano Ronaldo is a legend. This I don't really understand. He played 27 games for them. Yes, he went on to have a legendary career, but he wasn't a Sporting legend. He's not Sporting's only legend, surely. Surely. It's absolute madness. Right, let's go beat Sporting and their only legend, who I don't know what, he's fully retired. He usually takes up a manager role, but looks like he is fully retired. So let's go beat them, knock them out of the Champions League. Perhaps I can become their one true legend. We've got Diego Henrique in goal, a back four of Locatelli, Stewart, Postorino and John, Drury and Tipple in midfield, and then Ballo, Schultz and Boning behind Luis Gustavo up front. Let's go. Before we get into the match, I've got to show you the greatest goal ever seen on Football Manager. This was, I put it on Twitter. It would have been on Twitter last week. It shows how far in advance I'm recording these videos because I'm about to go on holiday. But this goal, if you haven't already seen it on Twitter a week ago, you've never seen anything like it. It is the best goal you'll ever see in Football Manager. Certainly the best goal in FM22. So Schultz and Drury combining nicely. Ball forward, Tipple, one touch. What's he done there? We need to see that from another angle. There's no way you can fully appreciate that from that angle. So if we go behind the goal and just slow things down a little bit and have another look. Because, I mean, it's unacceptably good what Etienne Tipple does here. Big ball forward. Look at the one touch. And then doing. Football goal. Beautiful. Best goal ever in FM22. And now we can get into the match. I already introduced the team, I think. That's what reminded me that Etienne Tipple exists. So let's just get into the game. Remember, 3-0 up from the first leg. We just need to do our bit, secure our spot in the quarterfinal. We'll have the quarterfinal draw coming up today as well because we've got a couple of matches to play off camera before we do the second. Well, hold on. Hold on. Who's been messing with this? There we go. That's all correct now, isn't it? Oh, that was hideous. Right. It feels slowed. Have I slowed it down as well? Ballo at the far post plays it back to Locatelli. It's normal speed now. And Luis Gustavo, a 37th goal of the season for him. For a player who hasn't been starting every game. We have still, whenever we can, been rotating him with Ruben. That's not strictly true. There are probably times we could have rotated him with Ruben where we haven't because he's been in such ridiculous form. He has just won the Ballon d'Or as well. The second player of a team we're managing in this year's Non-League to Legend to be a Ballon d'Or winner. Luis Gustavo is the best player in the world. And Sergio Delgado's never got anywhere near since that time he won it. Still knocking around at Norwich. probably should have left and gone to Real Madrid when he had the chance. Not that it was him who was stopping the move to Real Madrid, but I do wonder how his career might have kicked on if he'd have gone to Real Madrid ahead of Damian. I think Damian finished third on the Ballon d'Or list. So Damian really has gone from strength to strength, playing regular football for Real Madrid over the last 3 years or so after being left to rot at Bayern Munich. I mean, that's part of where Bayern Munich have gone wrong. They were bringing in the right players, but because Haaland was in the way, they had one of the best strikers in the world sat there and had to let him go because they held on to Haaland for too long, still starting Erling Haaland as a 37, 38-year-old when they had a 24-year-old Damian knocking around the place who we were able to pick up on the cheap at Real Madrid. Seems like, I mean, it's complacency and getting too invested in an aging star and forgetting that you are supposed to be developing the team for the future as well. And it's cost them. We've seen it happen to other clubs in other leagues, getting too married to these older players, and Bayern Munich are the latest ones to fall victim to it and could genuinely this season finish outside of the Champions League spots, which for a team that won 15 consecutive Bundesligas until quite recently shows just how far they've fallen. That's why I was speculating before that we might be able to get the manager sacked, because we saw it happen with Brendan Rodgers. He was here at Dortmund for a long time, finished fifth one season, he's gone, and we get to step in and start building our own Dortmund dynasty. 3-0 up inside the first half here, by the way. If you're one of these people who just listens to this in the car like it's a radio show, we are winning 3-0 on the night, 6-0 on aggregate. It's relatively straightforward. I figure the bigger challenge in this episode is going to be that game against Dortmund, so we'll focus in a little bit more on the actual commentary on that one. This one is more of a catch-up, more of a, hello, how you doing? This is what's been going on in the save while there's football going on. It's how we try and do things these days. Tipple is in again, and he's scored another Etienne Tipple goal. It's just, I mean, it should be trademarked. The late bursting run out of midfield. He is starting to do it more and more now. He's getting used to this box-to-box midfielder role after playing for so many years as the Mazzala, but he just times his runs better than anybody. That's just perfection from Tipple. He's always going to be a threat. We've just extended his contract because he's been so good for us. We only brought him in on a 1-year contract initially, but he has now had his contract extended and he's going to be here for the next 2 years, I think. He's still not even 32, so I figure, I know it's exactly what I was just telling you not to do, but Bayern were doing it with too many players. I think we can have Tipple's the only player we've got in his 30s. I think we can have one when he's so different to any other player that we've got. I think we can definitely manage to fit one in. Right, triple substitution just to try and get some fresh legs in. It's now 4-0 on aggregate. 4-0 on the night, 7-0 on aggregate. Sporting have been well and truly dealt with here, and now we just need to hope that we get a nice draw for the quarterfinal. Luis Gustavo's in again, trying to add to his goal tallies. He wants to be top scorer in Bundesliga and Champions League this year to go over his Ballon d'Or. He's having one of world football's great seasons. I mean, we were talking about Ronaldo before, the likes of Ronaldo and Messi, when they were at their absolute height. How many goals did they score in a season? They were probably into the 40s and 50s, weren't they? So Luis Gustavo does have a little way to go. But like I say, he doesn't start every game. I wonder how good he could be if he did. Or is the fact that we're keeping him fit and keeping him sharp the reason why he's so good? Is he playing above himself because he's always fully fit? Answers down, I was going to say on a postcard, but I mean, that would be ridiculous. You can just put it in the comments. That acts as interaction on the video. Then I'd much rather you left a comment. So leave a comment. Let me know your Luis Gustavo theory. Salabalabino to Norberto. We're going to try and grab number 5 here. I think we're going to get it. It's going to be a penalty. Gustavo, I think, is on a hat-trick. Again, he usually is. Or has he already wrapped up his hat-trick today? It's hard to keep track, but I suspect we're about to see another Luis Gustavo goal here. It is Gustavo to step up to take it. I'm sure he's scored at least 2 today. So he's looking to add to his tally. Luis Gustavo for 5-0 on the night, 8-0 on aggregate. He is taking an absolute age, and he scores. And I'm fairly confident that's his hat-trick. 39 goals. Oh, it's only his second goal. 39 for the season now. What an absolute machine that man is. Lovely old stuff. 5-0 8-0 on aggregate. Now let's get the draw done, get some games played off camera, and then we'll be back for Bayern Munich. It is time for the draws. We won another game in the league, by the way. We beat Ingolstadt 5-0. So the Bundesliga table now looking like this. We are closing in on back-to-back titles, but today it's all about Champions League. So still in the competition. I mean, this is a tough one. There are some big matches here. There's no easy games. Cliche. Barcelona, Chelsea, Manchester City, Paris Saint-Germain, us, Juventus, Norwich, Real Madrid. I mean, I would love Norwich or Real Madrid in the final. But if we have to take them out on the way, that's fine. Chelsea face Juventus. We are at home, which is not ideal. We always like to be home in the second leg. Of the teams that are there, I mean, they are all... I guess Norwich would be the preference. Real Madrid. Wow. Well. Real Madrid, who are second in La Liga, behind Barcelona, well behind Barcelona. I wonder, are we now a better team than Real Madrid? I guess we're going to find out in the very near future in tomorrow's episode. Semi-final draw as well. So Paris Saint-Germain or Manchester City face Chelsea or Juventus. And I already know what that means. If we're making it to the final, we've got to deal with Real Madrid and Norwich on the way. We're not going to get the dream romantic final, but we are potentially going to go on a reunion tour on the way, as long as things go our way, of course. And then maybe a final showdown against Manchester City and finally topple the most dominant team in the save, really. I mean, look at the state of them. They are regular Champions League winners, regular Premier League winners. They are the team to beat. And of course, they have Mori Koulibaly in their team as well. So, I mean, it's exciting stuff. The series very much feels like it's coming to a head. Now let's go play Bayern Munich. So another win under our belts against Mönchengladbach. And this is what the league table looks like. We are now 7 points clear. We've qualified for next season's Champions League. And we haven't been given budgets, but, we've already got loads of money. And I think we'll be fine without getting budgets straight away. And this is the team we're sending out there for this all-important game against Bayern Munich. It's Diego Enrique in goal, a back four of Locatelli, Stewart, Posterino and John, Idoloff and Tippel in midfield, then Ballo, Schultz and Boning behind Luis Gustavo. Let's get into the game. Let's get out there and beat them and see if we can get Nagelsmann sacked. That's the plan. Push Bayern Munich outside of the top four. We're just wrecking everything. We're so upset. I mean, it's not going to happen. They're 8 points. They've actually done quite well in the bit in between, which is a bit of a shame. At the start of the episode, it certainly looked possible. One other thing to mention as well, we're quite deep in for me to bring it up, but it might be upsetting you. Might be frustrating you. If I sound like I'm sick, if I sound all blocked up, I'm not sick. As those of you who watch my streams will know, I've recently got a CPAP machine because I'm a fat old man who stops breathing in the night, and this makes me less likely to die. And I'm struggling to get the settings on it right. So I've got a really blocked nose and a really dry throat. I'm not sick. I feel fine. Thank you for your concern. If you've already typed, Kev, you sound sick. I'm so worried about you. You don't need to worry. It's just... It might be my voice in general might sound like I've got a blocked nose or a croaky throat for the next day or two while I fiddle with the settings on my new machine. But yeah, it is fine. I am fine. If anything, better than usual. Fully oxygenated, less likely to die. That's a bonus. Right, Schultz. And the highlight just stops. Well, I don't know. Look how far ahead we are of Bayern Munich. This is ridiculous. Leipzig have gone 1-0 up in their game, closing that gap back down to 5 points as it stands, with 5 games to go. That's right, isn't it? 34 games in a season here in Germany? Yeah. They're now 2-0 up. We could really use a goal to push that back out to 7 points. I don't think we play Leipzig again. Did we play them yesterday? Or have we still got Leipzig to play? We'll have to look at the schedule after this match. But we do want to obviously get this Bundesliga wrapped up. And if Leipzig are going to keep on winning, then we also need to win against these teams that we're much better than, because we're much higher than them in the league. So it would be nice for us to grab the win today. Oh my word, that was that one could have ended up anywhere, including in the back of the net. But luckily, whistles wide. I think they've finally not got Erling Haaland in their team. I don't know if that means he's retired or if he's just injured. But it is odd after all this time to see a Bayern Munich team that doesn't have Erling Haaland in it. Idloff to Boning, and now Tipple. Loads of space for Tipple. Slots it into Luis Gustavo. The referee seems to be letting it stand. I can't even see the referee. No question of it being offside. We are 1-0 up, and Luis Gustavo is well into the 40s for goals for the season now. If we go all the way through to the Champions League final, that's what, another 10 games in total in all competitions. He'll play 7 or 8 of them if he stays fit. That boy's going to get beyond 50 goals this season. He is just a goal-scoring machine. And to think I had question marks over him when we arrived because he wanted to play as a false 9 and I wasn't sure if he'd be able to get the job done as an advanced forward. I think he's settled that query, hasn't he? He's quite good as an advanced forward. Right, we're going to make some changes. Salah Balabino's coming on. Han is coming on as well. And I think we might actually give Luis Gustavo 20 minutes of rest. Ruben can come on, get some more game time into him. As you can see, as it stands currently, 7 points clear of Leipzig, which is absolutely crucial. But we do only have the 1 goal advantage, and they are still Bayern Munich, albeit a shell of the team they were just a few years ago. They are still a threat, as they've just shown there by hitting the post on Locatelli. It's not just Locatelli. The entire defence. Will somebody just clear the football? Knocking it around like that inside the 6-yard box. It oozes confidence, but it does no benefit to my blood pressure. Goodness me. Ballo with the free kick. Looking for Stewart, but can't find him. Idloff wins the ball back in midfield, but then immediately gives it away again. But Locatelli... Oh, it's not Locatelli. It's John coming over this side to cover, and now he tries to play Locatelli in. He must have been forward for the set piece because they were both lurking on this left-hand side there. I don't know who we had on the right-hand side. Let's hope John's made it back over. Of course he has. Max John is everywhere. Schultz from range. He has hit that with gusto, but it bounces back off of the hands of the Bayern goalkeeper, and then it was their turn to have silly little games going on inside the 6-yard box. It's clearly just the cool kid thing to do today. But it remains 1-0 to us with just 5 minutes left in this game. Leipzig still ahead in their game. Bayern have the corner, and it's cleared off the line by Max John. He is everywhere in the final few minutes of this game. He wants another Bundesliga title. Well played today, Max John. Give him a round of applause. What a man. What a result as well. It's not quite the thrashing I hope we dole out to Bayern, but it is a very important 3 points that keeps that 7-point gap for us at the top of the table. We'll just check in to see if we do still have Leipzig to play. We do not. So we've got to play Bayern again in the German Cup semi-final. I forgot we were still in that. But tomorrow's episode will be both legs of Real Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinal. We're heading back to Spain. It's not quite the team I left behind. There have been a number of players who've left. Carlos Vitor left twice, apparently. Felipe Lopez and Florentino. They're left with no midfield. They also let Mansur go to Bayern Munich. Mikhailov's gone to Watford. So who are they playing in midfield now? Oh, of course, I forgot about Gonzalo Delgado, and Bruno's still there, and then a stranger. But they've still got Thierry Small off of the Champions League final, and they're playing a very odd-looking back 5, which I don't really care for. But as we know, we've talked about already in this episode, Damien, now considered one of the best players in the world, is having a goal-scoring season of his own as well. So it's not going to be a simple task navigating our way past our old club, Real Madrid. If you enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.